Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. Thank you all for joining me. So, may I say it this way: legendary film director Spike Lee in the NBA All-Star Game was found with a photograph, rather, with a shirt in the back with the writings, "We want our reparations," something along that line. Yeah. He had a shirt on talking about "We want our reparations." You can't see it from here. You can't see it here, but evidently that's him right there. You can't see it, obviously, but then I'm about to read this article to let you guys know it ain't. I'm not making it up. He's demanding reparations at this NBA All-Star Game with this jacket on. It's not a shirt; it's actually a jacket. And I read the article and I started thinking a couple of things. Number one, what is up with the constant requests for reparations from a lot of these woke people out here, particularly black people? And what would happen if that was to happen, if the government was to actually give black people reparations? Let's get right into this article. And I'm going to give you my candid opinion of what I think may happen if the government decides to give black people their reparations, right? Film director Spike Lee wore a jacket to the NBA's All-Star Game with the message demanding slavery reparations. Oh, I'm sitting so sick and tired of this, but I got something to say about it. Cameras caught the message as Lee stood on the sideline during Sunday's game while he enjoyed his court side seat, which reportedly ran for up to $57,000 per ticket. $57,000 per ticket, but he has a jacket saying "We want reparations," which is basically handouts, okay? Clearly, this man worked to get to where he is as a film director. I mean, I really admire him as a film director, and I admire a lot of his films, and he's a great filmmaker. He's legendary in many ways, okay? But to make this type of demand on the back of your jacket, yeah, we'll get into that. And to pay for a seat, well, up to $57,000 per ticket. $57,000. $57,000. $57,000. $57,000. I'm sorry, y'all, but I've never heard of that. I haven't. I'm not keen with the games and stuff like that. But that is absolutely ridiculous. Let's read that again. He stood on the sidelines during Sunday's game while he enjoyed his courtside seat, which reportedly ran for up to $57,000 per ticket. So up to $57,000 per ticket, but he probably paid for the most expensive one, the $57,000 $57,000 ticket. What the heck kind of mess is that? Are you serious? Who would pay that amount of money to see? Nothing. Okay. Quote, "We want our 40 acres and a mule," the message read. The Do the Right Thing director has been an advocate of slavery reparations for blacks for years. Lee has even added the concept of slavery reparations into at least one of his films. The theme was reportedly a part of his post-Vietnam War film, Defy Bloods. I didn't even hear nothing about that one. Lee attends NBA games with courtside seats so often that he was added to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame's James F. Goldstein Superfan Gallery last October. He making them rich because them seats are not free. He was inducted alongside actor Jack Nicholson and comedian Billy Crystal. Lee is a regular back in New York for games at Madison Square Garden, often in a Jalen Brunson jersey. Lee, who is reportedly worth about $60 million, $6 million, not too shabby, often comments about politics. It's always these very, very rich people like this, black rich people that always are the ones that are woke, it seems like, right? It always seems to be the rich black people that always seem to be the ones woke. But anyway, indeed, during the past presidential election, he railed against Donald Trump, who he said would be, quote, doomsday for blacks. I mean, I had to do that, man, because these people are just some of the dumbest people I ever heard in my life. The article goes on to say, yet despite Lee's claims that Trump is bad for blacks, the president's share of, and who's good for blacks? Would Kamala Harris have been good for blacks? Was Biden good for blacks? Man, shut up if I slap you in your bottom lip. Spike. If I spike your bottom lip. Lord Jesus, help me. Calm down, Ryan. Calm down. But you know, Lord, I don't like these people, man. I don't like them, Jesus. Fill me with your spirit. Fill me with your Holy Spirit. Fill me up. Because these people, I don't know how anyone listens or follow these people. I just don't understand it. But let me continue. He says, the article goes on to say, let me start that over again because I got to calm myself down. Yes, despite Lee's claims that Trump is bad for blacks, the president's share of the black vote, especially among black men, soared for the 2024 election. Exit polls show that Donald Trump won 25% of black men, the highest of the Republicans, of any Republican in modern times. End of article. Shut your mouth. Get out of my face. Bam. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, man. Bro, look, let me tell you something. First of all, I don't think Spike Lee is at the least bit concerned about whether or not you or I or anyone that's black watching this video or any other black person gets reparations. I don't think he's really concerned about that. If they never give us any reparations, Spike Lee is cool because he has his money. So I don't see this as a sincere attempt to try to persuade the government to give us anything, okay? And one person have argued that blacks have been given their reparations in the form of, and he had a valid point, but I'm going to say this is going to offend some people, in the form of the welfare state. When Lyndon B. Johnson initiated the Great Society, that was back in those days in the 1960s. I think it was like $500 million or 500. It was a lot of money. And if it was $500 million that he was going to invest in the attempt to so to speak, fight poverty, back in those days, adjusted for inflation, that would have been close to like, I don't know, something billion today. So yeah. And all of that was just handouts to the black community. Essentially, to get the black people to vote Democrat completely, which they did. In fact, Lyndon B. Johnson was quoted as saying, I'm going to get those NIGGAs voting Democrats for 200 years. That's a direct quote from y'all boy, all you Democratic supporters. That's a direct quote from him. And he was right, from Lyndon B. Johnson. He was right. But anyway, some have argued that blacks have gotten reparations in the form of the welfare state, particularly starting in the 1960s with Lyndon B. Johnson's The Great Society Fighting Poverty program, which is basically a gigantic welfare state program, which he pumped hundreds of millions, if not more, dollars into black ghettos and so forth, not to create businesses, but to get people to be dependent on the government. Handouts. So why is anybody talking about that, right? But anyway, let's just assume, though. Let's assume that the government breaks down and says, you know what? We got to give these black folks their money. I'm getting sick and tired of these folks crying and farting and pooting about reparations. Let's go ahead and give them their money. Okay. Blacks make up 13% of the population in America. That's 40 to 42 million in conjunction with the 360 million. And let's assume that out of that 40 to 42 million, 20 million has a ghetto mindset. You know where I'm going with this. You know where I'm going with this. Them jokers ain't, look, if you give them $1,000 a piece, you get all the black people $1,000 a piece, what do you think they're going to do with it? Stop playing games. Man. Let's quit playing games. Let's quit petting people, okay? Let's quit petting people and playing games. Do we really believe that a lot of the black people, particularly from the ghetto, are going to take that money and invest it in anything? You think they're going to take it and invest it in business ventures? No, they're going to take that money and spend that money on products that depreciate in value over time. Next thing you know, they're out of money. And what are they going to do? go back to the government and boo-hoo and cry for more money. Like they boo-hoo and cry under the welfare state. They're going to boo-hoo because that's why they keep voting for these Democrats. They're so brain dead, they just vote for them anyway because they figure, hey, if I don't vote for them, I ain't going to be able to. And I'm not putting anyone down that's on welfare. I told y'all before, I've been on welfare twice. But you better believe the purpose of I was smart enough to know that the purpose of the welfare system is not for you to be on it for the rest of your life. It's supposed to help you get yourself up so you can do what you need to do to better yourself. But anyway, that's not what the Democrats want. The Democrats want you completely dependent upon the welfare state for the rest of your life. But at any rate, that's what they're going to end up doing. They get that money. They're going to spend it on products that depreciate in value over time. Then they're going to go back to the government begging for more money, more reparations. It's not going to work, okay? It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. And as the article said, this man here, Spike Lee, is worth over $60 million. I find it interesting that someone like this, a popular, highly talented movie director, would push dependence on the government to millions of blacks all over this country. I find that very interesting. And to be quite honest with you, it angers me and embitters me. But to God be the glory, I'm not going to let these kind of people make me so angry that I want to choke them. I want to yoke them. Okay, let me watch what I say, you know. But algorithms, right? You know, I want, you know, man, here you is, you're a multimillionaire, and you're trying to convince the government to make more black people more dependent on the government because reparations is not, it's going to come in the form of handouts. That's how it's going to come. If it happens, which is not going to happen. Come on, man. Golly, gee, Moses. Come on. When are these people going to learn? When are they going to learn? But I just wanted to say that because what Spike Lee did here was just totally asinine, ignorant, and he's, to me, and I can't prove it. I can't prove this. It's speculation on my part, but he's nothing more than another tool for the Democrats. He's nothing more than another tool for the Democratic politicians to push government dependence on black people. And I pray, I pray black people wake up from this, man. Really serious. Look, let me end the video on this. You're not going to get any reparations. Not talking about anyone watching this, but you're not going to get any reparations. Forget it. It's over. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. You're not going to get any money. Just go to work, go to school, better your life, get an education, better your life, and do something with yourself. You're not going to get reparations. Find something else to talk about because you're not going to get it. Stop listening to people like Spike Lee. Spike Lee is like a spike in the ground. He need to be like a railroad track spiked in the ground somewhere and told to shut up with his crazy self. Yeah, but that's what I had to say about that. Yeah, that's totally ridiculous. Man, you worth over $60 million and you're pushing the welfare state on vulnerable-minded, dumbed-down black people. Anyone who fit that, if you're dumb enough to believe what Spike Lee is pushing here, then you're dumb enough to accept it. It is what it is. You're dumb enough to accept, yeah, we need to get reparations. Ooh, let's get reparations. Ooh. Man, go on with your life. Spending all this time hooping and hollering about reparations when people could be spending a lot of their time trying to better themselves. It's really simple. It's not confusing. It's not difficult. It's not brain surgery. You know, it don't take a PhD to find that out. It doesn't. You know, the neurons could be halfway sparking in your head and you can figure it out. You can have half amount of neurons in your head. Only 1 billion neurons need to be in a person's head to understand that. You don't need trillions of neurons, just 1 billion, and you'll understand it. Just saying. But anyway, yeah, what do you guys think about this situation with Spike Lee with the jacket on? Talking about we want our Mew 50, what is it? What did he say? We want our 40 acres and a mule. We want our 40 acres and a mule. On the back of his jacket. We want our 40 acres and a mule, which actually, from what I understand in reading history, at one point we did many blacks that made it through the Civil War, after they were set free after the Civil War, Republicans created basically a net for them in which they provided them with the 40 acres and a mule. They provided it for them, at least for some of them. But unfortunately, because of Democratic opposition, it was much more difficult for a lot of those blacks. But anyway, man, whatever. It's just silly. But what do you guys think about this? Leave your comments in the comment section. Don't like, share, subscribe to my channel. God bless you all. See you again.